Welcome to KHM Today, everyone, your weekly go-to resource for industry news and straight up fun. I am your host, Carolyn Orff, and you guys, it's Cinco de Mayo, and it's Travel Advisor Appreciation Day. So you guys will laugh. Yesterday during our production meeting, the team was like, do you have any decorations, which I looked for and could not find anywhere, but don't you have a sombrero or something to wear? And the answer to that is no. You guys, you've seen some crazy stuff that I have just laying around my house for the last 2 quarters. And I do not own a sombrero. But you know what I do own, which is just nuts? I own this. This is like a head that you put on your hat. Does anyone even know what animal that is? So that I own, but I do not own a sombrero. So here we go. We have such an amazing show today. We are going live to Dreams Vista Cancun for Cinco de Mayo to celebrate and to make some amazing shrimp tostadas. We have a special message from Rick Zimmerman. We have Geraldine Ree, who is an author of an amazing book for travel advisors. Matt's Compass is back, and we have a fan favorite, How Do You Learn What You Don't Know? Travel Protection Edition with Virginia Ambushemi. So, and I'm sure we have so much more that I've just forgotten, but we've got a huge lineup. It's the most people we've ever had on the show. And don't forget, we're giving stuff away all hour. So stick with us. Let's go ahead and get started with the headlines though, so we can jump right into the show. Chantel Nye is here from the education team. Happy Cinco de Mayo. And Travel Advisor Appreciation Day.
I was going to say happy Cinco de Mayo and National Travel Advisors Day, which just means that all travel advisors should go out and celebrate Cinco de Mayo by drinking a margarita and having some shrimp tostadas. That's all it means.
I think that's the perfect combination.
I can't believe you have that head and not a sombrero.
I know. Telling you, crazy stuff happens. What's new in the news?
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the headlines. So today, let's start out with, if you are not a Star Wars fan, it doesn't matter because this headline is going to make you a Star Wars fan. So the Star Wars Hotel Experience Galactic Star Cruiser, which was supposed to open this year, is going to open next year. When you read about this experience, they call it a new kind of story living, which I've never heard before, but it sounds amazing. The highly themed experience includes dining experience and visits to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars theme land at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Just checking in, you will enter a launch pod where windows will depict them leaving Earth and jumping into hyperspace to reach the Halcyon. When the pod docks, it will open into the ship's atrium. All of the windows at the Halcyon, include those in guest cabins, will offer ever-changing views of the galaxy outside. This reminds me of the cabins on Disney Cruise Line, the inside cabins with the virtual outside. So also you will get to see the new realistically designed lightsaber designed by Walt Disney's Imagineering Research and Development. So please look for more information to come on this new hotel. It's a 2-night experience and it looks absolutely amazing.
Sounds so fun.
Doesn't it sound fun?
Yeah.
This touched my heart. So I wanted to share it with all of you. Cruise lines are promising aid to and outreach for Alaska tourism communities. Because this is year number 2 with no ships going into these ports, Norwegian Cruise Line Holding, which is Norwegian Cruise Line Oceania Regent, will provide $10 million in cash support to 6 Alaska port communities severely impacted. The donation will go to Juneau, Ketchikan, Skagway, Hoonah, Seward, and Sitka to provide humanitarian relief. They said Alaska is one of our guests' most popular cruise destinations, and we are doing everything in our power to safely resume operations in the U.S., which will provide much relief to these communities. And Royal Caribbean and Celebrity pledged support for the Shop Local Alaska program, which encourages people from afar to help support Alaska small businesses. So they generate revenue for businesses in port towns by marketing Alaska products to millions of people outside the state. And it was created as a response to the 2021 cruise season being declined.
Chantel,
So,
sorry to interrupt. I don't
no,
know about you, but I'm in awe of this right now because
yeah,
cruise lines have to be the most significantly impacted arm of travel and
sure,
tourism the last year and a half. Yet they seem to constantly give back to others. They've done it
right,
for travel advisors, and now they're doing it to communities. And I'm just like shocked by this.
yeah,
That at the end of the day, they're still able and willing to give. So kudos to them.
absolutely, absolutely. So I just wanted to share that. That was that touched my heart too. Uh,
Absolutely.
this one made my heart leap a little bit too. New York lifts the COVID-19 restrictions on Broadway, theaters, and live venues. So starting on May 19th, Governor Cuomo said most COVID-related state capacity restrictions, coronavirus-related restrictions in New York and New Jersey will be lifted the same day. More than likely, Broadway is saying it's probably going to start opening in September. That's a more realistic guide there. They also said that they are going to work around current social distance requirements in accordance with the CDC. So proof of vaccination or negative COVID tests upon entry, and probably checking temperatures. It's also going to affect theaters, gyms, museums, restaurants, bars, amusement parks, and shops. So that's good news too.
Dust off your tap shoes, Chantel.
That's right. We're headed to New York. And lastly, we all know it's National Travel Advisor Day. This is Travel Advisor Week. We all know that. I hope you are all watching the emails that are coming through from our suppliers, because they are giving not only bonus commissions for, trips planned in certain dates, they're also giving gift card giveaways. Some of them I've even seen, like Europe Express, on their Facebook page. If you post your favorite travel photo along with an explanation of why, they're going to throw you in the hopper to give you a $100 bonus commission to do that. So watch those emails that are coming in. Look at what these suppliers are adding to this week for you. And the biggest one, I think, is sandals. There was an email that came out. Your current CSS status is extended through the end of 2022. Preferred sandals agency status also extended through the end of 2022. Chairman's Royal Club members through 2022. Let's see, registered bookings for the entire day today. They're going to allow all registrations for tour operator bookings that were not previously registered in the 30-day window. Today, they're going to allow you to add those. So read your emails that are coming in, because these suppliers love you. They know what you've gone through, and they're here for you to just help in the future.
That's awesome. Well, speaking of giveaways, pick a number between 1 and 106.
I am thinking 50.
All right. All right. Either at the end of the show, we will bring back all the winners for today. If not, we will be emailing everyone what their prize is. So thank you, Chantel.
Have a great day.
I am so happy to welcome our next guest to share a special message of appreciation for each and every one of you on this special day. Please welcome a man of integrity, immense faith, and unwavering support of travel advisors, the president and CEO of KHM Travel Group, Rick Zimmerman.
Hello, Carolyn. How are you?
Good, good. We can't see you just yet, Rick.
Okay. I guess I have to click on share my webcam. How's that?
Welcome. We're so happy to see you.
Well, it's great to be here. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I hope you've been doing well with it. I got to tell you, I really love your show.
Well, thank you. It has been so fun to be out in front of agents and provide a source of motivation, laughter, fun, because
Yep.
I feel like everyone needs it right now.
Well, you've been doing a great job. I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you. And likewise, I'm a big fan of yours. What's your message today for everyone that's listening?
Well, for one, I want to know what that head is all about. I'd like to know the story. I know we don't have time. I do want to wish everybody a happy National Travel Advisor Day. Words can't express how much we appreciate all of you. First, you stuck with us through the worst downturn in travel in all of our lives. Second, you hung in there for your clients. And I know that your clients appreciate you as well. I've heard from many of you how we've helped you through this. Well, we did this together. That's the way great partnerships work. They get us through the worst of times. And we really did this all together. So thank you so much. But in the end, it's you that really shine through this darkness. So thank you to all of you travel advisors for being you. Your stick-to-itiveness has been nothing short of remarkable. You've kept your clients' bookings intact and helped them navigate the ever-changing landscape of COVID. You've kept yourself busy with training programs like virtual EDU. Heck, I even heard one of our travel advisors out there in California was giving some of the swallows at Capistrano Beach some directions to Argentina because she's tired of rebooking trips. So, Longwoods International, they're a travel market research company. Their most recent research shows that 30% of Americans indicated the coronavirus will greatly impact their decision to travel in the next 6 months. That is the lowest level it's been since the pandemic began. So are you ready for the onslaught of pent-up demand? Many of you are already experiencing an uptick in business, and if you haven't seen it, please get ready for it. It's still going to be a little while to come back, but it's coming soon. So just know that we love you, we thank you, and we can't wait to see you again soon. And finally, please read page 15 of this week's Travel Weekly, the entire page. Both articles are great.
Thank you so much. Rick, before we let you go, pick a number between 1 and 111.
Uh-oh, okay, 33.
33. Perfect. Rick, thank you so much for your support of travel advisors. We absolutely adore you. Have a great rest of your day.
All right, thanks, Carolyn. Bye, everybody.
All right, you guys, this is amazing. We've been trying to work this out for weeks, but we are so excited for our KHM at Home segment this week. We are going live to Dreams Vista Cancun to celebrate Cinco de Mayo with Armando Canelo, Director of Sales, and the food and beverage team. We're so excited. Armando, are you there? This live KHM at Home segment is sponsored by Apple Vacations, your one-stop source for all AM Resorts brands, and especially Dreams Vista Cancun. Armando, thank you for joining us, and thanks for showing us the beautiful Dreams Vista Cancun.
Hola, hola amigos. Hola. Hello, all of our travel agent community. We love you, and we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So happy Cinco de Mayo. We are in one of the very private areas of the hotel. We are in the heart where everything happens, the kitchen. We're in the chef's table. So I am so glad to introduce to you our executive chef, Eric, who is here with all his team, along with our social media manager, Tony, and he's gonna present us agua chile, shrimp, agua chile, tostada, made in the moment right now. So I will let our chef, Eric, to explain you how to do the agua chile with the tostada. So imagine everyone that are watching us that you are here sitting at the chef's table and having this opportunity to experience this great meal from Dreams Vista Cancun Golf and Spa Resort. We wait for you when you want to visit us. Please feel free to contact me, and I will love to extend you some certificates, some upgrades, something to know the hotel, because you are an extension of the sales team. So happy Cinco de Mayo, and I will let our executive chef to explain us how to do a Mexican tostada.
Hola,
Hola, chef.
welcome to Dreams Vista Cancun. So today I'm going to show you how to make our chili shrimp tostada. Okay, this dish is came from the Pacific Coast. Okay, so the first thing we have the ingredients here. We have some cucumber, we have some onion, of course we have the shrimp, and we have some lime. We have some coriander, chopped coriander. We have some serrano pepper, and also we cannot forget the black pepper and the salt. Okay, so let's do it. We want to use this kind of bowl. We call in Mexico molcajete. It's made by stone, and also we use a real stone to mash around all the ingredients. Okay, so the first thing we need to put in here is the lime. Okay, we put some pieces of lime, right? And then we put some serrano pepper here. Okay, we put some coriander here, and then we put some onions here too. Okay, and then we need to smash it up with the stone. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, have to smash, smash, smash. Okay, until maybe it's a little bit blender. Obviously, if you don't have the molcajete at home, you can use the blender. Okay, so it's almost the same thing. Okay, and then we have to add the shrimp. We have it made here. Okay, fresh shrimp. So we obviously, right? Okay, and then we have to add some cucumber. Okay, salt, black crushed pepper. Okay, and then we have to marinate everything. We have to mix everything together, right? And then we have to rest maybe for 3 or 4 minutes until the shrimp is cooked. Okay, so we put this on the side because I want to show you the tortilla. Okay, this is blue tortilla or blue corn. Okay, this tostada you can make at home or you can buy in the store. If you can make at home, you have to use only a pot and oil and deep fry it maybe for 1 minute and 350 degrees until it's crispy. When it's ready, now you can see it's cracked, right? So we're gonna show you one more here, okay? And then we use the tostada here, and then we have already our shrimp and cucumber and onion, okay? So the red pepper, and then we have to put all these ingredients on top of the tostada, okay?
And chef, what happens is the lime juice cooks the shrimp, right? Like ceviche?
Exactly, yeah. The lime cook all the shrimp. You have to wait only for 5 minutes, 3 minutes, and then the shrimp is really cooked. They change the color, and then we have to garnish with some avocado on top, right? And some microgreens. These microgreens made by roots, baby roots, okay? We put it on top, okay? And then our chile tostada shrimp is ready.
It looks delicious. Thank you so much.
Happy Cinco de Mayo, and don't forget, we love the travel agents. We love our travel agents.
We love you guys too.
Please look the kitchens. We're already here in the kitchen. In the
Isn't that amazing? We're right. We're right in the center of it all. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Dreams Vista Cancun.
Thank you very much for being here. Bye-bye. Thank you
We
very
can't
much.
wait to see you.
See you soon.
Oh, you guys, how fun is that? We've never done that before. I hope you enjoyed it. They're just such wonderful people. Our next guest is Keisha Lazaire. She is an agent with KHM and also part of the diversity, equity, and inclusion team. She is here to talk about the best way to capture your site visits in our Prepping for Your Fam segment that's going on through the month of May, where our theme is Fam Forward. Please welcome Keisha to KHM Today.
Hi, guys.
I forgot, Keisha, to have Armando pick a number. So you're going to pick 2 numbers at the end of your segment.
Okay, great.
Well, thank you so much for being here. We know that prepping, or I should say, before we get started, Prepping for Your Fam is sponsored by Charisma Resorts. Vacation like you mean it at Charisma Vacations, the completely reimagined, all-inclusive luxury experience. I don't want to forget our fantastic sponsors. So we know that the best part of being in destination, besides enjoying the pool and everything, but if we're there to work, the best part is site visits. It's so fun to go and visit different properties. Sometimes we'll see 5 or 6 in one day. And capturing that information can be so challenging. We always are in that mindset of, oh, okay, as soon as I get back, I'm going to do this with my pictures and I'm going to take these notes and organize them. And let's face it, sometimes we get back into that resort and all we want is the cold drink and our bathing suit and to pop in that pool. So, but you have a very cool way to capture information in the moment so that we don't lose it and we don't use the momentum to use it. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's funny because I'm really a paper person, but I find that being on the FAMs is one of my FAMs. I had to do 10 resorts in a day, so
oh my gosh,
to make a tourist board, very extensive. So I find that you can't always have paper and pad, but what we always have is our cell phones. So what I do to capture everything is I use the notepad, as you can see on the screen, which is usually with the iPhones, or I think Android has it too. And before each day, I actually put the list of each hotel I'm going to. So I create a sheet for them, a notepad for them. And then as I go through my tours, I take down pertinent information about that resort. And then I insert a picture into it to remind me of some characteristics of the resort. So when I'm back in my room or I'm posting, I know which resort started and where the next one begins again. So it's just little helpful tips. And then I also keep my location on because technology is awesome. So not really, but it is. So with the location key, I can always go into my Google Photos and I can just say Ocean's Core Resort, and it'll pull up all my photos from that resort.
Really? Like, I'm dumbfounded right now because I had no idea that was an option.
Yeah. So, and that's really great. And since I blog, and then I also post a lot into groups and my page, it just makes it so easy to do it. And instead of taking the focus away from paying attention to the actual person leading the fam, now I can be calm and know that I know where all my stuff is when I need it.
And you have a really, when we spoke before the show, one of the things you said is that you try and keep your feedback really general when you're taking notes, because it might not be the place for you,
right?
But it could be the place for someone else. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yes. So again, I blog and I also post a lot on social media, Instagram and Facebook. So when I do my posts, I try to, even if something doesn't appeal to me, I always try to keep it positive and think about my clientele or the people that may be following me. So if there's a resort that maybe it's not my taste, but I might say it's good for that budget savvy person or someone who's younger. Maybe someone's out of graduating from college and their budget is in that area, so it might be a nice price point for them. The great thing about FAMS is that you can compare, right? We all see price points, but we don't really know what the resort has to offer until we actually see it. And
Are there any questions that you keep in the back of your mind that maybe you do carry on a piece of paper that as you're going through the resorts, you make sure that you ask the sales manager that's taking you around? Like, one of the ones that I always think about is when we think of all-inclusives, there are different levels to that. And not every all-inclusive includes every restaurant all the time whenever you want it. So and those are the things that are the hardest to find online if you're digging around.
that is true.
Do you keep a list of questions, or are they just kind of in your mind as to things that you want to hear from them, or you make sure that you ask questions while you're on site?
So I do a little bit of both, because I usually tell everyone when I'm traveling and I open it up, like, do you have any questions? Is there anything particular you're interested in knowing about this resort? I have those questions in the back frame or back of my mind. And then I also have, used some of the KHM questions, but if there's something else that I'm particularly interested, like I'll ask about family. Oh my God, I apologize.
No worries, it happens.
I ask about rooming. So there might be a question, if someone's traveling with a family, how many can, it's not always easy to tell online how many people can fully fit comfortably in a room, whether or not, how many rooms they have that are connecting. Is it guaranteed, or is there an additional price to get a connecting room? Because some places charge you extra for that, and then sometimes it's included. So I do ask those type of questions, and I do ask about disability. Maybe if I know somebody, like, are all your pools accessible, or how many rooms do you have for accessibility? Because most of these resorts don't have elevators either.
Right.
Right. And then the other question I do ask is if their property is LGBT friendly, because I have clients who are in that community. So where a country may not be friendly towards it, the resorts may be. So you kind of gauge, but those are usually the questions I ask. Everything else is just listening to them, taking down the notes as they speak, trying to figure out what's around the area, if they have curfews for the pool or the bar, especially with COVID, what time does everything close around here, things like that.
Okay, those are perfect. I love this idea because, like you, I am a paper person, but I find that I'm efficient in the moment, and then that paper just gets shoved to the side along with the pictures, and I end up doing very little with it. And I feel like this method would have me doing more and faster. So thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your insights, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
You need to pick two numbers. Two numbers.
I do. So, okay, I'm going to pick 18.
Okay. I lose my pen here.
And I'll pick,
Chantel's writing it down.
What did you said 1 through?
1 through 120 now. We
120? Okay, so I picked 18 because that's my birthday. I'll pick 12.
All right. Thank you, Keisha, so much for being here and for your insight. Have a great Travel Agent Appreciation Day and Cinco de Mayo.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, everyone. So I am excited for this next guest. Geraldine Ree has a long history in the travel industry and has been working on the book, Flying Colors, The Travel Advisor's Guide to Breakthrough. I think the last 3 years she's been working on this. During the last year, she felt it was essential to get this book into the hands of agents and worked hard to get it published. The book is now available on Amazon. Please welcome author Geraldine Ree. Hi. Oh, I don't think we can hear you. There we go.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Geraldine. Welcome to KHM today.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. Happy Travel Advisor Day to everyone. This is an awesome opportunity to come in on this very appreciative day.
It is. It is. So I read your book. We had a chance to talk last week, and much like a textbook, I have it highlighted and I've got my notes in the margin. I had stickies throughout here. And there are so many aha moments. And I had to laugh as I was reading it because the first one was on page 2, literally page 2, which is not even a chapter. It's the introduction. And you say working in the travel industry is so much more than a job, a career, a business. It's a way of life. And to me, I was like, all right, do I need to read any more? Like, this was it. Mic drop, done. Why do you feel that way? I know I feel that way. Why was that your mindset?
Oh, sure, Carolyn. Let's start off on really an emotional. And that one, I was at a CLIA function years ago when Joel Abels was there, for anybody who's been around long enough. And he said that at the mic. He said, it's more than a job, it's a calling. And it spoke to me in the same way it spoke to you, and I've never forgotten it. It's, it's the reason that we all stay in it, that we've been resilient through this last year, is that it's in our blood and it's a give back, it's a way of life. And yeah, I really believe it.
Yeah. And it's like Rick said, right, in his message, the stick-to-itiveness, which is a brand new word. I think that needs to be entered into Webster's, but there is something to be said for our wanting to stick with this industry. So the book as a whole is really, in my mind, a roadmap. And what's so interesting is it's a roadmap for not only those that are new to the industry, but as someone who's experienced, I found myself reading it going, I do that. Ooh, I'm doing it right. Or, I used to do that and I've fallen out of sync with that. Or, ooh, that's a good idea. Or I should refresh that. So it's really a book for everyone, not just those that are new.
I would agree. I wrote it for different reasons and for different people. So 3 years ago, I wrote a book that I wanted my mother to be proud of, to be honest. And I dabbled. And then COVID hit. And as I told you, I just felt, what can I do? And I wanted to give back. I wanted to give a roadmap, because the owners would say to me, I don't even know what to say anymore. And I'm sure advisors listening, I don't even know what to say anymore. Well, wow, I know what we could do. We could work on the roadmap together. And so that's why I created it. And I think it's meant really, my heart always goes to those people in this industry that hit that glass ceiling. You're working harder and you want to work smarter, and everything is always targeted to the new people. And we need new people to come in this industry. But a lot of the training that I was reading about was focused on getting started. And I wanted to have people like, what about all of us have been doing this, like you and I, for so long? What are the secrets that we all, and it's built on the shoulders of giants, of some of the smartest people I know in the industry. And I go, well, what do you do that is a secret, not a secret, that shouldn't be a secret, that we could share with advisors? And, so now it's turned out to be, whether you're brand new to the business or you've been doing this for a very long time, there is a teaspoon or a nugget in this book that I hope will really help.
Absolutely. So in the book, you talk about these 4 shifts.
Yes.
And I have my favorite, and I'll tell you which one that is. But the first one is that mindset, right? Really getting into the mindset of setting goals and, expectations for yourself. And one of the things you say is that you need to be intentional about looking for the clients that appreciate you and what you do.
It's as simple and as complicated as that. It's the nugget, it's the heart of the whole book, which is that, we love the industry. We love being in it. We don't always love what we do every day. And a lot of that largely comes down to we're trying to serve the wrong client or we're trying to serve too many people. But when you deal with people or you find that person that brings you joy, you just can't do enough of, they're just your favorites, and you would do anything or find any answer for them. Why not have a whole practice built with all customers like that? They are all out there. And so it's about finding your ideal customer and just going all in.
I think it would be really interesting if someone actually put on their website, I like to work with people that bring me joy. Because that has been a significant phrase probably for the last 2 years, right? Marie Kondo had it. Does this sweater bring you joy? Nope. Then get rid of it. Does this bring you joy? Get rid of it. And I don't know that that's necessarily a bad way to go. Think about the things and maybe the places that you sell that bring you joy and stick with it.
It's, and that's okay. Drawing that line in the sand that you don't work for everyone is probably saves everyone a lot of time.
Right.
Because if you're looking for the person who will do it for nothing, or, that's probably not me, but I'm going to go all in, and here's how I work. It's the step above service fees. It's the conversation of here's how I work, and I work with people who bring me joy.
Right.
And
right.
who doesn't want to work with someone, with that like-minded value?
Which is the perfect segue to the second shift, which is the customer shift. Yes. So this is my personal favorite because you believe that you can say no to some will bring you more yes later.
I couldn't have said it better. You've summed me up better than I'm sure I said it in the book. It's the thing I've noticed over 30 years of being in the travel industry and watching agents. They don't want to let go over here because what if that 3-day sandals turns into a world cruise one day? And we think we just have to hold on to everything and maybe not get the kind of reciprocal respect or what we want out of the relationship. And so if you just say, okay, well, what does bring me joy and who can I work with and do a fantastic job? Get 100 of those clients and they'll bring their friends and they'll bring their friends. And that's how basically referrals works.
Mm-hmm. Do you have, and I'm putting you on the spot here because we did not talk about this. Do you have some tactful words that agents can use to share with clients that might know they might not fit anymore? So if you don't want to take that on, how do you tactfully say, thanks, but no thanks?
Right. So first of all, it's a slow, gradual, not a sudden drop. I'm firing you as a client, although that's okay too. You can do that in the privacy of your own office. Anyone can be let go. But I think, it's that diplomatic language that what you're looking for, you love doing your own research, you love finding prices, and you love finding great value. That's what you should do. I really work with people who, price isn't their leading factor. They're looking for the meaning behind the vacation, special celebrations, and that takes time and energy for me to put something wonderful together for you. So it's not a I'm firing you. It's maybe helping them make that understanding that what you do is special. It's a service, and it takes time and effort, and you're willing to do it. And maybe that's not for everybody. Not everybody wants that, and that's okay.
Awesome. Which brings us to the sales shift. And I love this because a lot of times as agents, we forget to continually improve our skills. And we're really good about, taking the trainings that might, improve, give us a discount, or, okay, I still get my free cruise if I do that, or I get this if I do that. But a lot of times we tend to forego the other things that are equally as important, really just due to time. So you're saying you got to keep honing your skills.
I've been in this industry, and no one in the travel industry, I've been around long enough where sales was just, they wanted to take it out of the word counselor because they want to be servicer. We want to be professional service, and we don't like sales. No one wants to be a pushy salesperson. Who wants that? I don't want it in my life, and I certainly don't want to be that. And so I think what happens as professionals, we resist sales training because we think it has maybe a pushy connotation. And I actually just wrote a white paper on this. If anybody's interested, I'm happy to share it. Sort of, it's not about selling, it's about helping your customers buy well. I can help you have a better vacation if I really understand what's the meaning behind the vacation. And those kinds of sales skills can translate into thousands of dollars, because once you understand what people really want, they make the leap, oh, and I'm willing to pay for it. And so I think with, every little, and we're not talking about radical change. All of your people, you know what to do. We're pretty good salespeople. We've been in travel. We're selling things that everyone loves. I think of it like polishing. You just get a little bit better. Oh yes, I remember. Always offer a luxury and a premium, or always suggest a stay after the main vacation. We know it, but it's about having that training to do the discipline to do it on every single conversation.
Right. Well, and I know just listening to the other members of the education team, we've all been in the industry for different periods of time. And I've learned so much about how they phrase qualifying questions that I've changed the way I ask some of mine. And that's honing those skills in a different way, but it's still a skill.
It's one of the most powerful ways of training, actually, is what you pick up when you hear someone else in action. We don't like to do it. We don't like to role play, but if you are fortunate enough to be in an agency situation, or even can buddy up, I do boiler rooms with agents where we all get together and get on the phones. We can't be on the phone together right now with Zoom, but just even coming back and say, well, here's what they said and I froze. What would you have said when that happened? Or like your question about, well, how do you diplomatically let someone know they're maybe not the right customer for you? It's brainstorming and then finding the words that feel comfortable to you.
That's great. And then our final shift is the performance shift, which is really what you said from the get-go. It's figuring out how to work smarter, not harder, and coming up with procedures and things like that are just going to make life a little bit easier.
Absolutely. It's probably, I'm a bit of a productivity geek. If I, deep down next to travel, I think what really fascinates me is the fewest steps to the top. And in travel, there are 1,000 steps. And so don't make me take a step I don't need to. And so the productivity or the performance shift is just really about doing a deep dive into what's my approach to my day? What are my zones? Am I doing the right work when I've got the right amount of energy? Working on a file, working on delivering a vacation takes a different cerebral mindset than calling someone. So, make sure that you kind of match up your zone. So, I love all the chapters, but I think the biggest difference that I can help for advisors is to just really help them on how they approach the business so they don't hit that glass ceiling of just being too busy.
And do you think that the message is the same whether or not someone works part-time or full-time?
There is no part-time in this business because no one takes a part-time vacation, right? So I love whether you work a day a week or 7 days, let's get it to 5 first of all, because we need vacation. We need our own vacations to come back with energy. And I'm guilty of that. I'm certainly guilty of long hours, but I know so many people that do this as a side hustle or as something they're just so passionate about, and we need that kind of volume in the industry. You serve an enormous need, but in that day you work, your day looks the same as somebody who works 5 days a week. You're producing a vacation in that time period, and so it's you're full on for the hours that you're engaged, and it's even almost more important because when I went to university part-time, I felt like it was harder almost than being in full-time because you're trying to manage 2 things. So productivity and performance is really important so that when you resume again, you start right back up where you left off. So yeah, I would say it's equally important no matter the time you dedicate.
Awesome. Well, Geraldine, you have a special gift for our advisors today. You have some books to give away.
I do. I can't wait. Yes.
However many you would like to give away, just shout out those numbers between 1 and 120, and Chantel will write them down.
Okay, well, let's see. I have three children, so I'm going to go with 3. I'm just picking a number for the number of books is 3, and I'm going to give away their birthdays. So one is a 2, one is a 17, and the other is a 21.
Awesome. Geraldine, thank you so much. Congratulations on the book. It really is fantastic. I enjoyed every second of reading it.
Thank you so
It
much.
really was just so many light bulb moments, which I love to have. So much success to you. And thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me, and all my best and happy Advisor Day, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Ah, so fun, you guys. We have some amazing people today that are just such eye openers. So, and Matt Walgren is one of them. Please welcome Matt. We are curious about meet and greet options available to clients. Matt is from the education team here at KHM Travel Group. And this segment is sponsored by Expedia Tap, your resource for flights, rental cars, hotels with easy cancellation policies and activities. Welcome, Matt. You look like you're ready to fly an airplane.
Yeah, I've got my air traffic control headphones on, but I have some good news because I bought these little, can you see them in the camera? Pixel buds. I'm gonna try those out for next time, so I don't look like
Very
such a
nice.
dork.
Well, I like the air traffic controller headphones anyways. So
Yeah.
we could not be more timely because one of our KHM agents today on our Facebook group asked the question, is the Punta Cana VIP meet and greet worth it? And I had to almost chuckle because it literally was like the same words. And so we're so glad that you're here and this information is so timely. So what VIP experiences are out there and are they worth it?
Yeah, first I want to talk about Global Airport Concierge. They are a service that operates in over 1,000 airports around the world, including domestically and internationally. And they offer several different things, but I want to talk about their meet and greet service. So when you arrive at the airport, let's say from home, and you've driven or someone dropped you off at the airport, they're going to meet you curbside. They're going to help you with your luggage. You can pay for an additional fee for that. And they're going to get you to that kiosk, get your baggage, boarding pass, and all those tickets printed, and then take you to the gate. And through the gate, they'll expedite your gate service where possible at participating airports and help you find your gate. So I think it's a good service for those people who have families maybe, or are nervous travelers. I mean, I think we all have clients who love to travel. I know I have some that travel several times a year, but they're a little bit nervous at that airport. So it's a good thing for them. It does start at $75 per person. So depending on how many people in your group, it could run a little heavy. But I think in those particular scenarios, a big family or a nervous traveler, it could be a good service. And then there's one other thing that they do. And this one is the one that I think is extra special and something that I might use as well. And it's a connection service. So if you have a connection, say a short connection, less than 2 hours at a big crazy airport, think, Charles de Gaulle in Paris, right? It's a big crazy airport, and you've got to get all the way to the other side to meet your next flight. They will meet you at the gate when you get off your plane, and they'll whisk you away and take you right to your gate. You don't have to think about it. They'll be monitoring your flight, so they'll know if the gates have moved or any of that stuff. So I think that's a really unique service. And I think if I had a layover at a big airport like that, I might use that if it's less than 2 hours. Now it would be comical if the gate ended up being right next door, but just for peace of mind, I might just book it anyways because it's $75. So
that sounds amazing. I had no idea that existed. So our next one is Punta Cana.
Yeah, so now let's go to the Caribbean. So I want to talk about this because this, you go to the Caribbean, there's a lot of different islands that offer a unique VIP service. And I think, it's something a little bit different than what I just talked about, but it's really interesting. So Punta Cana, they offer a VIP service. When you land at the airport, they're going to have your name on a sign. You're going to go straight to them, and they're going to take you through all the immigration, the customs, and various lines and whisk you right through so you don't have to wait. They also do offer a departure service. So when you come back to the airport and you're going to leave, they'll greet you again and take you to the lounge. Now, the arrival service doesn't include the lounge, but it's less expensive. It's $75. Now, the departure service, since it includes the lounge, it's $125. And I guess there they figure, maybe you don't want to do the lounge when you're arriving. You probably just want to go straight to your resort. So that's kind of how they've set it up there in Punta Cana. Now the departure lounge is interesting because it's a private lounge within a lounge. So a lot of people say, well, you know, my credit card gives me lounge access. Well, this one's a private lounge within a lounge, and they maintain population control. It's by tickets only. So you know how many people are going to be there. They only sell so many tickets per day during a given time to make sure that it's not overcrowded. And it does include a plunge pool as well.
That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah. So is it worth it on that one?
Yeah.
You know, the arrival service, I think it is, right? You want to start off your vacation on a good foot, and you don't want to be waiting in hours in line. So just to be able to be whisked away and taken, I think so. Now for the departure service, you know, I think it really depends. If you're concerned about, you know, the crowds that have begun to build up in some of those lounges, maybe you want that extra space and private experience in that private lounge. Are you going to use the pool? I mean, I don't know. I can't picture myself going and getting in my bathing suit and jumping in the pool and then dry, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'll put my feet in there, but I think the arrival service is probably worth it.
I think one of the things that's inviting about some of these lounges is that a lot of times when you're at all-inclusive properties or any property in the Caribbean or Mexico, they get you to the airport so early. So
Right.
it's nice to have that second space to go to that has the free Wi-Fi and you're not fighting for a seat. I'm with you. I don't know that I'd be in the pool. I think my kids would be in the pool, but
Yeah.
I don't know that I would be in the pool. But so our last one is Club Mobe.
Right. So I have to talk about.
I'm a huge fan of this.
Yeah, Club Mobe. So this is probably the most deluxe of all the services. They're going to greet you. It's similar like the ones previously, right? But they're gonna greet you, take you through all those lines, whisk you through. It's pretty fast, and they are gonna take you to their lounge on arrival. And there you'll be able to enjoy a drink, have snacks, freshen up. And in this case, you know, I think it could be great because perhaps you are meeting family for a reunion at the resort, or it's a birthday, or there's a destination wedding, and you've been flying. You know, a lot of people fly red eyes, you know, when they go to Jamaica. So, and this also, by the way, I should mention, it's not just Mobe, it's also Kingston. They offer it as well, very similar service. But do you really want to arrive, checking in, bumping into your family, and your hair's all messed up? And, you know, this gives you the opportunity to freshen up, center yourself, and then go meet that group at the resort. So I think in that instance, it's great. And just for the whisking you through everything alone is fantastic. It is $50 per person. So that's the least expensive of any of these. So I think it's definitely worth it on the arriving service, and probably worth it for departure. Departure is also $50, but you can bundle it and book your arrivals and departure at the same time, and then it's just $80. So, which is $80, that's just $5 more than the other services I talked about, which were just really one way, right? So I think this one's definitely worth it. On your departure, you can also use the lounge, and it does have a spa. And so for an additional fee, you can get a massage or a mani-pedi. So while you're waiting for your flight, and like you said, they do oftentimes bring you to the airport really early. I have to say, you know, on some of the other ones that I talked about, maybe it depends, but the service that they're providing here, I think I would do it every time.
The food alone, if you're with your family, the free food that they offer, that alone is almost costs you the amount, if you were to buy that in the terminal, is worth the price of admission. So Matt, thank you so much. These are fantastic. We should say that most of these are available through Expedia Tap for your clients, and they're great gifts to give them as well. It's something unexpected.
Absolutely. And for $50, I mean, I've got clients going there after researching this. I'm like, okay, I'm going to surprise them and book this for them and let them know the day before they depart.
That's awesome. Matt, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy Cinco de Mayo and Travel Advisor Appreciation Day. Are you making tortillas tonight?
I don't know. You know what? We've been kind of tired. We're going through a remodel right now at the house. So, and some Popeyes chicken coupons just came through. And I'm like, you know, I think I'm going to go to Popeyes chicken. I don't feel like cooking tonight.
Very good. Very good. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
All right. Our final segment, but probably one of the most important topics you will ever hear about. How do you learn what you don't know? Our travel our travel insurance edition with Virginia Ambushami. Welcome, Virginia. And we should mention this segment is brought to you by Norwegian Cruise Line, the home for freestyle cruising. Check out NCL Central for the latest offers for your clients. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me, and happy Travel Advisor Day. And where I live, Cinco de Mayo is a big day.
I bet it is. What'd you have for lunch today? Did you have tacos from Willie's?
You know, I had breakfast for lunch. So
Awesome. So we know the travel protection is super hard to decipher. The policies are pages and pages in length with words that we sometimes don't understand. So while we aren't supposed to sell the product, we do need to understand it well enough to be able to offer it and offer it well. So what are the best ways that we can learn about travel protection?
well, you know, there are a lot of different ways, and this particular component is as important as any other component in a travel package. So it really behooves us to get out there and learn something about it. Of course, there are webinars. There are in-person events where you can go and listen. In my particular case, that's when I really got into selling travel protection, was after I listened to an in-person event. You can go on their website. I download the policies. I know, Carolyn, you're a paper person. You like to print them and use that. I like to save them in PDF. And then as I'm going through and there's a word that comes up, I can look in the search function and find everywhere in that policy where that word occurs, so that I make sure that have I actually looked at everything. Now I have to tell you, this is not easy reading. I tell my clients sometime, well, when you have insomnia, take it with you, and that may help you go to sleep. But it is so very, very important. It really is the terms and conditions for the travel protection.
Right, right. So what are some of the key pieces? You know, you like to download each. Do you just do it for one insurance company? We have kind of two preferreds with KHM. Other agents that are on that are not with KHM might have others. Do you take the two policies and kind of do apples to apples and see where they differ? Or do you just kind of stick with one and say, this is my third party go-to?
Well, for me, I started with one company and I tend to stick with it. Now I'm trying to learn a second one. And in that case, I'm trying to compare apples and apples. But I mean, I'm looking at what's covered, and even more important, what's excluded. And
do you find that there are more apples to apples than apples to oranges?
Not always, but in most cases, especially when you get into the exclusions. The exclusions can be different. Then I want to look at what are the limits, because the top policy for this company and the top policy for this company, the limits differ. Maybe not a lot, but enough that it would matter to some of my clients. I want to look at pre-existing medical conditions. Do they have a waiver? And if they do have a waiver, is it on all of their policies? Because there are different levels of policies for each company. And then what are the conditions? Does it have to be purchased within 14 days, 21 days? You know, what I need to make sure that I have that clock going in my head to know that we purchased this in time to get that waiver. Then the other thing is, if they're going to buy, cancel for any reason, what are the limits? Is there a limit for when they can cancel? Can it be up to 2 days before? Can it be up to an hour before? What are those limits? And in this case, we're just talking third party. There are all those supplier offered plans out there. Some are vouchers, some are cash, some are combinations. I mean, there's just so many different ways that companies now sell travel protection.
Now, you've said that there's sales material on everyone's websites to kind of help decipher, and whereby that's a good guide, it's not the end all.
Right. A lot of times their sales information is written for the general public. So it's going to be more of a plain English kind of wording. But what I find in a lot of cases is it just hits the high points. You know, it doesn't go into all those details. So that's when I'm pulling up that policy and looking at all those things that I know are important for my client.
So at the end of the day, I think what I'm hearing from you is to really read,
Yeah.
and highlight and pick out those words that maybe aren't making sense to you, and pick up the phone and call and find out what those mean. Because, I truly believe there's never a stupid question, right? I'm an educator. There's never a stupid question. There's questions that are smarter than others, but there's never a stupid question. But when we're talking about travel protection, you just have to lay it out there. No one truly expects you to know it all. You don't have your insurance license. You haven't studied this for years on end. So picking up the phone and asking what might be basic questions to them, there's nothing wrong with that. You have to do it.
There is nothing wrong with that. And the thing is, there's no one size fits all. And I know we're going to be talking more about travel protection over the next few weeks. We're going to be delving more into the policies and into finding the right client and the right policy for that client. But there's just no one size fits all. So there are a lot of things that you have to take into consideration as you're considering which one is going to be best for this trip, for this client, with this supplier. So it's just not straightforward.
And I think I absolutely love that phrase, because we have to remember it might be easy to click that button because that's the easiest thing to do, but it might not be what's best for our client. So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to dig deeper into, what are the things that we need to be looking for each individual client, not for our client base, but for each individual client. So thank you so much for the time and for your expertise. I know you've kind of become an expert, and we don't want to say that, but you've really dedicated a lot of time to understanding, especially third-party insurance.
Yeah, third party has been very important to me because my client base is an older client base, and the medical coverage is just very important to us. So yes, that is something that I've had to study a good bit to make sure that we're getting the right policy for the right client for the right trip.
Right. Well, thank you so much for being here on Travel Advisor Appreciation Day. Oh my gosh, Matt, we forgot to pick a number. Are you still here?
I'll give you my number.
Yeah, you give your number.
I'll take 100.
I feel like I have to remember all the numbers that everybody said.
That's Chantel's job.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to pick, hopefully nobody, I'm going to pick number 1.
Ooh, number 1.
Chantel likes that one.
Yeah, make it easy on Chantel.
Yep. Oh, thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Guys, we have had a fantastic show today. Thank you all so much for being here for not only Cinco de Mayo, but Travel Advisor Appreciation Day. We will be sending out an email to those of you that have won special prizes today. Thank you to all our guests. We want to thank our show sponsor, Apple Vacations, or Apple Leisure Group, and all of our show sponsors, or segment sponsors this week that are on your screen. And before we all sign off, you guys, we need to give a shout out to Sam. She is our producer for the show every week. This week was exceptionally back and forth and complicated, and she's just done an incredible job. So Sam, thank you so much. She has put all sorts of resources in the chat, so please make sure you're saving those so that you can refer back to those later. You guys have a great day. Go enjoy a margarita and a special treat for Travel Advisor Appreciation Day, and we'll see you next week when Dondra Ritzenthaler from Celebrity Cruises will be here, along with the Travel Institute. So take care. See you next week.